From the moment you wake up in the morning, thought intercepts everything. You know, whatever you can perceive physically with your eyes, with your ears, what you can smell, thought intercepts that perception. As well as internally, any feelings, physical feelings that you might have within your body. Thought creeps in and intercepts that physical feeling. Let me explain what I mean by this. You wake up. Whether you wake up to an alarm or whether you just wake up naturally. You wake up, you look at the time, you see physically, see the time, and thought creeps in and says, oh, is it really that time? Oh my, it's time to get up. You start thinking this, ultimately, is what I'm saying. This is what you begin thinking. Thought intercepts what the time that you've seen on your phone or on your alarm clock. Thought intercepts that sight of what time it is and starts condemning or judging. Oh, have you noticed this? And then you slide off the end of the bed. And maybe you realise that you've got a physical pain in your lower back. Oh. And again, thought creeps in. Oh man, I wish I didn't have this pain. Why me? Oh. You begin thinking this to yourself, in other words. You know? Motorbike. So, can you relate to this? I'm sure anyone can relate to this. Thought intercepts everything. And that example was from the moment you've just woken up and thought has already crept in and intercepted what you've seen. You've seen the time on the phone and you've felt the pain in your back. And then that carries on throughout the rest of your day. You understand? And as I've said in previous videos, countless times, and I'll continue to say countless times, those thoughts, the nature of those thoughts, or any thought you might happen to have, directly affects your feelings, the way you feel. If you're thinking in a negative manner, you'll feel down and low. Oh. Excuse me. If you're thinking, again, if you're thinking about positive things, you'll feel jolly. That's obvious. Surely this is obvious. So, ask yourself this, if you're interested in any of this business. Is it possible to simply perceive, from the moment you wake up in the morning, is it possible just to perceive what is physically, what you can see, again, as you go about your day, whatever you're doing, just perceive what is physically and inwardly, as well as any feelings. Just be aware of it, in other words. Be aware of what is physically, as well as any physical feelings that you have inwardly. Is it possible just to be aware, just to perceive, without thought intercepting at all? Is it possible? If thought intercepts, if thought does arise, in other words, and intercept what you can see or what you're doing, then that thought also becomes what is. So are you then aware of that? Does this make sense? If you are aware, that thought just vanishes. Thought has no relevance when you're just simply attentive. An attentive mind. Thought has no relevance. Of course, if it's relevant to think, if you need to think about, then you'll think. But an attentive mind, an alert mind, thought has no relevance. I watched a film recently where there was an asteroid coming from space, or a meteor, whatever you call it, coming from space, hurtling towards the Earth. God damn it. And as it entered Earth's atmosphere, it just burnt up, gone, dispersed. Very similar to an attentive mind. When you're alert, you are your mind. When I say the mind, I mean you, because you are your mind. I've said this a million times as well. When you're alert, just attentive to, aware, totally aware. If thought enters the atmosphere of your mind, it just burns up and disperses like that meteor. It has no relevance. So again, the question. Is it possible to just simply perceive what is without thought interfering? Live your life and see. All the best. Take care.